Hey there, welcome to the channel. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how I got out of a poor widow's mindset and entered into an empowered widow's mindset and why I did that. So let's get into the episode. Just recently, I had a conversation with another widow, and I noticed that my nervous system was getting really charged. I felt like my whole body was actually feeling a charge. And the reason why is because she was saying things like they should understand me, they should have pity on me, they should feel sorry for me. And it created this place in me that was just a reminder like, ooh, I've been there. I know those thoughts. Now, no judgment to her. It just was a place where I started to see, ooh, yeah, I used to do that. And there was a turning point for me. I had to make a decision. I wanted to see my widowhood differently. And in that turning point, I had to ask this question. I'm going to ask you this question. Do I want to stay the poor widow who others pity, or do I want to be the empowered widow who takes her power back? Now, see, the thing is there's no judgment over here. I think we all land here. You know, early on when our spouses die, everybody is with us. And there's a point where people trickle off. And so your brain, it's thinking things like, hey, don't forget me. I am a widow. Don't forget my husband died. Don't forget I have to do this on my own. And so we kind of create this, oh, I'm a poor widow. Not that you're saying that, but, you know, like, don't forget me. And in that, it creates this place in our body where we feel a bit out of control. And I wanted to reclaim that. I wanted to take back my power and have more empowerment within my widowhood. It didn't mean that I wasn't sad. It didn't mean that I didn't miss my husband. It didn't mean like, oh, you know, like positive Polly. It meant that I didn't want to stay here and rest here and make this my place. I wanted to come over here and know that I did have life to live. And being married to someone who is a Marine and a Special Forces Green Beret, I knew that my husband would not want me in this spot. I knew that he would want me to come over on this spot. So I'm going to talk about 3 things that I believe kind of can get your brain just to be thinking. The first is this: that widow who was struggling with the thoughts of, you know, they should, all of those should thoughts, they should pity me, they should feel sorry for me. It wasn't about the actual circumstance, right? She was angry about something, but it really wasn't the circumstance. What was really going on is that she wanted to be seen. She wanted to be understood. And because she wasn't being seen or understood, it created this thing like, I'm a widow and they don't care about me. Versus, you know, sometimes people, it's not about what we are, it's about the fact that they themselves are unaware of what we're going through. And so not being seen was a huge thing for her, and it's a huge thing for all of us. When we don't get the idea that they're seeing us, we'll kind of settle for sympathy. And as a widow, we don't want to settle for sympathy. We want empathy. There's a difference between empathy and sympathy. You know, when someone is empathizing with you, they're saying like, I see you, I hear that. Sympathy is like, oh, poor you, right? We don't want that. We don't want that kind of idea. And I'm going to ask you this question. What am I asking the world to mirror back to me, pity or power? Think about that. What am I asking the world to mirror back to me, pity or power? When you start to really become aware of your thoughts, you realize, I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I want them to see that I'm capable of doing this, but I can also use my superpower of asking for help as well. Look, there's no judgment over here. I've been here. I think we've all been here. It's just about getting us to this part over here. As a coach, I tell my clients all the time, your brain is designed to listen to what you tell it. So whatever you're speaking, your brain is looking for evidence for that. So when you're saying things like, they should care about me, they don't have sympathy for me, they should pity me, your brain's looking for evidence. And that's where the anger comes in. That's when the overwhelm comes in. That's when anxiety comes in. But if you can shift it to another, a more empowering thought is, I can figure this out. I am capable and I can reclaim my power. And you can do that with kindness. You don't have to get angry. You can just take a pause and allow yourself to feel the emotion. It's not saying, push the emotion aside and just feel empowerment. It's about saying like, oh, I'm aware that I keep saying that. I'm aware that that keeps coming up. I'm aware that I've actually created a space, which happens a lot. We create this space where we're now, it's no longer just a phase, it's a way of life. And we don't want that. We want to actually make our way of life empowerment, and also to be able to walk with our grief in a way that actually serves us. Number 2 is this, living in survival mode. After I lost Lou, I did find myself living in survival mode. I was just trying to do everything, figure it out, because I'm wired for partnership. You're wired for partnership. And when your spouse dies, you realize, oh no, I have to do this on my own. So you kind of pick up the baton and you just keep going. And at some point, you get exhausted. You feel just completely depleted of energy because you are living in this place of survival. And that overwhelm can exhaust you. For me, what I decided to do was I decided that when I felt like I was in survival, I would just take a pause. I would use my superpower, which was to ask for help. You see, before I could ask my husband, but now I know, okay, I know there's people that I can ask for help. I know that I don't have to look at this as this is survival. I can look at this as this is my life and I am capable. Here's a question I want to ask you. What would stability, even for one day, feel like instead of survival? What would stability, even for one day, look like instead of survival? Like, what would that feel like? Just to know, like, hey, I can create stability in my life. I don't have to be constantly striving. I don't have to keep running. I don't have to keep trying to do this. Because what happens is you start saying things like, I can't, I don't know how to do it. I am, overwhelmed. My life is falling apart. And even though some of that is true, you can actually shift it to like, oh, I can ask so-and-so. Oh, I actually am capable. Oh, I'm going to take a pause. I'm actually just shut the lid on that one for a minute and think about this. I'm not going to have to run and rush to do it. Here's the last thing, reclaiming your power. This was really important for me because this is where I finally came to this turning point in my life where I wanted to see my journey differently than where I was. I wanted to see it unfolding into a beautiful place. That's actually why I created the course that's coming up called A New Way to Stand, because I felt like in my spirit, widows need to know that we have a new way to stand. We can walk with our grief, not through it, but we can actually create a life that we love. This, I believe, is true. You may not believe that, but I'm going to tell you, I believe that it's true. We are not meant to just end our story here. We have more to the story. And we can bring our spouse with. This is not about you just leaving him behind and stepping into a new life. It's about you realizing, okay, I can bring him with. I can bring everything that I have and love about him with me, but I can also live my life. Your brain is looking for evidence all over the place. So it's going to look for evidence for the negative. It's going to look for all the, well, they did this and they didn't do, and nobody feels sorry for me and blah, 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 right? And your brain's going to get angry and overwhelmed. Or you can shift it to like, I'm going to find evidence. You see, your brain can find evidence however, whether it's good, whether it's negative, your brain's going to find it. You, my friend, are just going to start to become more aware of what you say, more aware of what you're thinking. You're not going to judge it. You're just going to be like, oh, I'm saying that. Oh yeah, that keeps coming up. Oh yeah, I keep getting mad at them. Oh yeah, I keep getting frustrated. Why am I getting frustrated? Maybe I'm not taking enough time for myself. Maybe I'm not resting enough. Maybe I'm not taking time to be gentle with myself. This is a journey. It's not like we're going to get to the other end, like we don't have to rush to do something. We just need to take time, take a pause, and know that we can reclaim our power. Look, I want to leave you with this. There's 3 ways that you can work with me. The first way is that you can do a one-to-one with me. It's a 6-month container, and that you can just link in the description below. Just book a clarity call with me. Second thing is Getting Grief in Me. It's a free support group. You'll get to know me one-on-one with a whole bunch of other widows. And it's an amazing group of ladies. And the third is this, A New Way to Stand, Get on the Wait List. This is for the widow who's saying, yes, I am ready. I am ready to go from this to this. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And that, my friend, is a 90-day commitment. And if you are interested, you're just going to link in the bio. And here's what I'll leave you with. You are not broken. You are a widow. You are grieving the loss of your spouse. And you're doing the best that you can with all that you have. No need to judge anything. Just become aware. Become aware of what you're saying so that you can enter a more empowered state. Thank you for joining. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for resting with me.